Step 1, shrink the tote. No, really, it's actually to grab a piece of cardboard and write down your overall dimensions of what the space you have available. And forget about all those paid Etsy plans. I'm gonna go over the tips and tricks so that you can make any configuration that you want, whether it be like mine, which is, a 4x5. You can go a 2x5, who cares? 4x8, sure, why not? Now, we've all seen the 27-gallon totes. 27 gallons, I don't know why they chose that number, but they did. And I am just going to put this off to the side and actually use this just to demonstrate what I did. What you will actually want to look for in a tote, because there are many out there, is one with an actual sturdy type lip to it. Have you got these other totes that everybody's seen all around? And these guys don't cut it. The lip on these is way too flimsy when you've got a bunch of heavy stuff. Now, we got ours from Sam's Club, and that's because I think they were $8. Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, they all have their own variety. And wherever you get it from, just get all of them from that same place because they do vary in dimensions. Now, most people don't like 3D modeling and or taking lots of dimensions, so you can honestly get yours from Sam's Club and use the exact same model that I did, or do this little trick and you only have to make 2, maybe 3 measurements. And so we are going to want to measure from the inside of that lip to the inside, assuming this is the orientation you're going to be doing. Lots of the plans have them like this. I'll get to more of that in a second, which is fine. And if this is the case, then you're going to want to measure this. It doesn't matter because you are going to make an actual template piece, whichever way you do it. So this is the actual template piece that I made. So my 27 7/8 is from the inside to the inside of my stiffener. As mentioned, if you want to go outside to outside, that's fine, that works too. Doesn't matter. Now the second one would be the height. Obviously it's not this on the mini one, but it's going to be the height that you want, and then you're going to add whatever gap you want in there. I went pretty slim. I only went with a 1/4 inch gap. And there is only one drawback to going so precise, and that is these are still plastic totes. Even though they're strong and sturdy, if you load them up with a ton of weight, they will sag ever so slightly in the bottom, and then it will just have a little snag as you're putting it in. So I would suggest, if you're going to load a bunch of them up, to go with maybe a slightly bigger gap, maybe 1 inch or so. So mine that I got from Sam's were 14.5 high. I would say, hey, go 15, and then you'll have a good, nice 1/2 inch gap, which, if you got the height, not an issue. Now for the height template, I did subtract 3.5 inches so that I could go from the top of the bottom to the bottom of the top. I'm storing them like this, and that's because I am limited on the depth that I had available. If you have more depth and less length, then sure, go like this. It honestly does not matter. One thing you need to think about though is by storing them like this, you have the 2 longer lengths to be able to help support that. And versus this way, you have the 2 shorter lengths. Thus, that is why I put a rail on the back wall. And so then these can go in and actually are supported on the back side as well. So my design actually has it supported on 3. Is it better? Sure it is. And speaking of supports, check out this freaking awesome desk. Yep, too high. Ooh. Woo! FlexiSpot sent me this standing desk, and I wasn't just gonna put it in my office. I mean, that's boring. I wanted to have always made a standing welding table, and FlexiSpot's made it possible. The setup is easy to follow. They've got great instructions. The keypad, it's nice, intuitive. You got a little USB port to plug in stuff, your phone. But the coolest thing of all would be they come with a 15-year warranty. 15 years. I know, I had to pick up 2 of them. They were just too cute. So starting with the back rail, this is kind of where I based off all of my design, and just that corner was the really the corner piece for everything that was going to be laid out thus far. So the back piece, it doubled as both the support for the back side of the totes, and then also, maybe we'll put it up here so you can actually see, and then it also is the back support that I was able to screw in these horizontal stiffeners for these sides. Now mine was done in place, meaning I kind of put it up against the wall piece by piece. Now that was because I was securing the back rails to the actual wall itself. I made sure to go into some studs, and then it was also because I kind of had a unique situation. I had a couple little, not hiccups, just different areas where I had to adjust it slightly. Like, for example, I had this pipe with some of my sprinkler wires coming through down the wall. I really thought I probably should have just cut them, rewired them, but I mean, hey, where's the fun in changing up the design as is by doing that? And then the other thing was the foundation wall actually sits out a couple inches into the garage, and so I had that little stepped notch down at the bottom. So to each their own. If you want to be able to do this all down on the ground, then I would actually suggest doing the ladder pieces, or pretty much all of the horizontal stiffener bars up against the post, or you can do it like me, in place as you're going. And hey, mine passed the final inspection by my wife, so I'm good. So assuming you don't have that pipe sticking out and some of those wires back there, then yes, that back rail can go the full length, which, if you care, mine was 128 inches exactly. And that was from the end to end, 128 inches. Check out the model. I was then able to use my height spacer. Very nice and convenient. You stick that up there, and then you've already got and know exactly where the height of your second row is going to go. And then going from that end, just go all the way down. Or you could go all the way up, which I ended up just going up all the way on one column, and then I went down column by column. Now for the posts, attaching them up to the top, you may notice that I'm going into an existing shelf. And of course, the answer, why do you have that shelf? Why didn't you take it down? Well, I'm lazy and I didn't want to go back down to the store. I had enough long pieces for my rails for the horizontal ones on the back, but I didn't have enough vertical ones because my height of my garage is 9 feet. I only had some 8-foot long 2x4s. So that's what I used. I improvised. I thought, hey, that shelf's still great and standing. Let's use it attached to it. And thus, that's why I did. I could have taken it down and been able to add 1.5 more, but that's what you get with DIY projects. Things are gonna change mid-project and you just go with it. So I actually built this entire shelf with the wood and extra supplies that I had on hand. Why did I have so many 2x4s? Well, I kind of go all back crazy for Halloween and I built a haunted house, and this is what was left over. And as you can see, 2x4s, even with the small toe, work perfectly with this type of ledge. That's why I used it. If you want to go cheaper and buying it all from scratch, 2x3s will work just fine. You want to know the coolest part is? Hey, I'm using up part of my garbage pile over on the side of the house and starting to clean it up. And to go along with that, you will want probably a full bucket of 2.5-inch screws. 2.5-inch are perfect because that will get you all the way through the one and then partially into the other. 3-inch screws will work no problem as long as you don't drive them halfway in through the first board, because then you'll be poking through the other end. One template for the height, one for the length, and then you can build it out as long or as tall as you want to go.